Okay, I'm absolutely furious with Geico, and I want to show you just one estimate. By the time I'm done walking you through it, you're going to understand exactly why I just spent last week telling the Federal Trade Commission they need to open an investigation right now against the insurance industry. See, you're also going to understand why I just released my really unfinished book now instead of sitting on it, and why everyone, especially the insurance companies like Geico, they're the ones that need to read this. So, Geico wrote this estimate on a 2020 Hyundai Kona. Front bumper, grille, rear bumper, ordinary collision damage. The kind of job every shop watching this has done 1,000 times. So let's just say that there's the common $500 deductible at play. So, first off, anyone that has been in this industry for 30 minutes knows the estimate has huge and obvious gaps. There's a front bumper, a rear bumper, and this undisclosed reconditioned wheel. That's it. This is not an uncommon level from an insurance company these days, using AI to generate estimates off photos customers send in. Now, while I could pick this apart and account for the entire 515% of wrong that Geico was, let's just look at the paint. Do you see it? Look at this line. Paint labor, -1 hour, with no actual refinish time on the estimate. How do you reduce something that was never there to begin with? This is a number that isn't even remotely legitimate on the estimate, and they did it twice. But what does that negative actually mean? Well, it means a reduction or a subtraction of dollars in the labor and material. So not only is there nothing on here for the work to actually be performed by the shop, the insurer is now, in essence, asking the customer to pay $117 plus the real cost to have the bumpers painted. But here's what you absolutely need to pay attention to. That negative drops the estimate to just below a threshold of a $500 deductible, the total of $496.59. $3.41. That's it. The entire margin between Geico pays nothing and Geico owes the customer money. And it exists because an AI system generated two negative numbers on two line items that its own repair instructions say is required to complete the work. I'll say it again because this really matters. Claims closing now below deductible is slimy. And frankly, I think it's bad faith on steroids. But it's not really the AI that bears all the blame in this. See that sentence printed at the bottom of the estimate? Geico put it there on purpose. It's not hidden, it's a safeguard. They're telling the customers exist to help them. So I want you to think about that sentence. What Geico is actually claiming is a human being looked at this and said either one, the adjuster saw a negative refinish hour, understood exactly what that meant, and let it go to the customer anyway. Intent to deceive the customer of a policy benefit. Or two, the adjuster didn't have any training, the time, the authority, or the ability to catch that negative number on a line item that any first year estimator would have flagged in about 4 seconds. Either answer is disqualifying. Either answer means reviewed by a human adjuster. It's not protecting the customer, it's providing a cover story. It's a sentence that sounds like oversight and functions like a disclaimer. See, this is the entire argument of my book and why it's called the judgment gap. Because the AI can generate an answer in just about 2 seconds. Whether a qualified human being with any real authority verifies that answer before a customer sees it, now that's a completely separate question. And right now, across this industry, the answer to that question is we don't really know, and the insurance company isn't required to tell us. Now, I was still in the middle of research, but I'm putting it all aside now and releasing the book because here we are with live, undeniable, name the company example. This is the gap. This is what it looks like when nobody checks it before the number reaches the customer's mailbox. And here's why I'm not letting this get dismissed as just one bad estimate or one example. Nationally, the rate of homeowners claims closed without any payment has gone from about 25.7% in 2004 to 42.1% in 2024. 14 major insurers are now reporting closing rates between 40 and 51%. In New York, private passenger liability claims closed without payment went from 33.6% in 2005 to 48.6% in 2025. That's nearly 1 in 2 claims. Allstate alone reported a 55.5% closure rate. And when Texas Watch looked at over 1,200 consumer disputed auto claims, the average increase was $5,307 on repairable and $3,889 on total losses. Now, put that together with this estimate. Claims are closing without payment at record rates. And when someone with the knowledge to push back actually does, thousands of dollars in value show up that the original process couldn't or refused to find. This Geico estimate is what it looks like before anyone pushes back. A negative refinish hour engineered intentionally or through a broken process. If this customer hadn't gotten a second opinion, this claim closes at 0. It's clean, no red flags, no complaint, no appraisal, nothing for a regulator to see. That's the claim volume regulators aren't sampling, and that's exactly what I told the FTC to go looking for. Now, the FTC has proposed a policy statement that's open for comment right now. Its docket number is FTC 2026-0859, and it's about whether companies deceive consumers when they market AI as accurate and objective while quietly steering what those systems are producing. This estimate is a textbook example of that policy statement and what it's asking about. Not is the AI model good, it's is the combined system, the AI, the insurer's configuration, the workflow, the disclosure language, and that human reviewer's actual authority designed so that a result favorable to the insurer becomes the path of least resistance. A negative refinish hour that happens to land the total just $3 under a deductible, that's not a neutral technical glitch. It's a result. And reviewed by a human adjuster is the sentence Geico is trying to use to tell customers that that result should be trusted. I've spent my career telling shops how to fight for accurate estimates. I never thought I'd need a chapter on what happens when the thing generating the estimate isn't a person anymore, and the person standing behind it either doesn't or can't check its work. You see, that's the book. That's what your FTC comment has to be, and that's what this estimate is. The claim result was designed before the customer ever submitted it.